Let's talk about him. Frimpong. What's everyone saying about him? What is everybody saying? I'm seeing mixed reviews. I can't lie. There are quite a lot of mixed reviews in regards to Frimpong. Some people, I guess they like him as in general. There seemed to be this kind of there was like excitement when he signed for the club. Do you know what I mean? Like there was this kind of level of like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're getting in Frimpong, lost Trent Alexander-Arnold, but Frimpong can offer us, something a little bit different, all of that kind of good stuff. And yeah, I mean, I know Liverpool have been poor this season, so that's maybe skewed a lot of our thinking in terms of some of these players and etc. Right? In terms of what we feel they can and can't do. But I mean, I'm looking at Frimpong and I'm looking at the way people have been speaking about Frimpong, and I'm just like, yo, yeah, it doesn't sound like many people are quite happy with him, as a right back slash right winger slash I don't know type of signing. And again, even me saying that, I think that's also playing a part as to why people are so kind of up in the air when it comes to someone like Frimpong. Like he wasn't really the person that I looked at for right back. I think back them times I was looking at like Cambiasso, but I know he can play left back, he can play right back. I think I looked at Ola Aina. I'm definitely sure because I'm sure, obviously, with Nottingham Forest doing so well, I thought you can get in someone like him. Obviously, again, this was just more of the thinking of okay, if you're going to obviously keep Bradley, I think he signed a new deal quite early on, if not before the season, and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, if that's the kind of energy you're going to go with, then yeah, you're realistically going to need just someone who can, if you feel Bradley's the one, that who can then just kind of fill that gap before he is the one, if that kind of makes sense, right? And I felt like, yeah, someone like Ola Aina. I can't remember who the other, I think there was was it the Portuguese right back from Porto, I want to say? Is it Martin Fernandez, I want to say? I haven't watched him in a very, very long time. And I'm pretty sure there was another one in there. But maybe Frimpong was also on the list. I'm not going to sit here and say he wasn't. I know Kunde was definitely on my list. I know some people don't really rate him as such, but because he's kind of a centre back. But I like the fact that he could play centre back slash right back. Because again, I looked at Arsenal, I looked at Manchester City, and I said, you've got these players, unless you can go out there and get like a top right back, I prefer you almost have someone who can fill in almost in a couple of positions. And I feel like that is something that Liverpool do lack in the defensive area, is actually having someone who can fill in, other than Joe Gomez, obviously. That's about it. You know what I mean? Like Kirk can only play left back. Frimpong, I mean, he can play further forward, I guess, kind of thing. And then obviously the centre backs can only play at centre back. So it's like if someone gets injured, we don't have the Arsenal thing where, well, if in a world where Gabriel and the Saliba was to get injured, well, Ben White can go in there, Julian Timber can go in there, Hincapié can go in there. They've also got Mosquera, who is a centre back. Obviously, he's been out there at right back at times, but he is primarily a centre back. You know what I mean? Like Miles Lewis Skelly can play in left back slash central midfield. Nico Riley, the same kind of thing. Vardio can play centre back, can play left back. Same with Ake. But you still got your specialists. Ruben Diaz can only really play centre back, but John Stones can play centre back, can play defensive midfield. Timber can play in defensive midfield, can play as a right back, can play as a centre back, can play as a left back. Liverpool do not have that. The only player who can do, we've literally got one guy who can do that. So when we then sign someone like a Frimpong, that's why I think that's one of my kind of reasons I was like, I mean, unless you're going to go out there and sign Hakimi, yeah, do you know what I mean? Which you're obviously not going to be able to do. But unless you're going to sign someone like that, you're getting in a guy where it's like, I said at the beginning before we signed him, he isn't a right back. That's not his position. His position is right wing back. Not even a right winger. I'm saying right wing back. He's in the middle of the two. He can start further up, but he's got obviously the pace to be able to get back and help out when you do drop into that back four / back five in defensive transitional moments. That's what I kind of felt with him. When you're asking him to play in that kind of back four, I almost feel like his defensive nous, like I'm obviously gonna say it's not whack. It's just not that good. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like you're not really that good. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like you're asking him to almost be a bit more exposed in those kind of moments where you're just almost like, all right, yeah, if we had someone maybe a little bit better. And then when you get further forward, again, you're not really offering. And listen, It's not all his fault. Again, I look at the manager. I also look at Salah this season. He's not really helped in that regards, even though at times I felt like maybe the relationship between him and Salah has been better than other relationships we might have seen down that side. But yeah, it's still not been, to the level that we kind of need it to be at. But yeah, just like I said, he's a weird one. He is such a weird one. Like I really don't know how I place him, how I look at him as a player. Do I think, yeah, just get rid? I know a lot of people obviously online and stuff like that are saying, they're not really feeling someone like a Frimpong. I just think that obviously the manager, that's a major crux for a lot of these players. And once he goes, I think if you get a manager who's a bit more competent, in my personal opinion, in terms of just understanding what you have at your disposal and what you can do with these players, on the pitch and stylistically and setups and stuff like that. I feel that once you get something like that, you probably will see a better Frimpong. How good? I don't know. That's the part where I'm a little bit like, still a little bit kind of thing. But look, ultimately, I just still think it will be a lot better than what we're seeing now. So that's why I don't think I've really even like. I don't really talk about Frimpong too tough because again, like I said, I look at him more like I saw you at Leverkusen and what you were doing under Jabi Alonso. Yeah, that's what I assumed you was going to do at Liverpool. Like I just assumed, forget the outputs, right? Like even though he got crazy outputs anyways during his time there, but let's just say forget the output, forget the goals, forget the assists, right? I'm just talking in terms of the job role. You specifically, the job role that you were given at Leverkusen. It doesn't necessarily have to be obviously exactly the same because it's not going to be absolutely fine. But can it be a little bit similar? That's kind of why I thought Liverpool signed you, not because you were a cheap deal and it was just cost effective. If that's what Liverpool are doing, then yeah, you can see why some of these players look a little bit kind of thing. And we're playing in a bit of a realm now with the Arsenals, with the Manchester Cities, who can go out there and sign really, really good players if they really want to. Sign the right players, as I saw with Arsenal in the summer. They went out and got a Mosquera, someone who is good enough to be able to step in to that centre back position, kind of thing. If a Gabriel or Saliba, obviously can't play, getting in a Zubamendi, again, the right type of profile for your team. Gyökeres, maybe not so much, but yeah, 2 out of 3, I feel like it's okay. Even Madueke, brilliant. I know people don't rate him, but again, I look at that and think that's a brilliant signing. That's an absolutely brilliant signing in terms of you needed the kind of depth out there for a Saka. Imagine if they didn't have a Madueke and it was just Trossard, Martinelli, who's been injured, Gabriel Jesus, who's been injured, Havertz, who's been injured. You need that, and you need the right type of player. And I just think Liverpool in the summer, almost for what Slot wants to do, and I'm just guessing more than anything, or I'm trying not to be a dick about it really and truly in terms of like, oh, I don't know. Like it's like I think I know what you're trying to do. I just don't think you've got the right players to do what you're trying to do. And until you get that, it's going to be very difficult in order for you to play the football you are actually trying to play. Now, whether that means getting rid of a host of players, cool. But when we're talking about Frimpong specifically, yeah, for me, he's just in this kind of weird space, I feel, right now, where it's like, I don't know how much better you're going to be, even under a different manager anyway. I still think you obviously will be better than you are now. I just don't know how much better it's actually going to look, so to speak. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, misprofiled, misjudged, is there misconceptions? I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you guys kind of decide that yourselves in regards to him. But it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. Let me know what other right backs would you guys like to see for Liverpool? If there are any out there that you guys think, nah, go out and sign him. I still like Kunde. I still think you could go out and get a Kunde. Like I said, I like the fact you can play centre back. I like the fact you can obviously play in at right back as well. I think that'd be massively helpful for a team like Liverpool, who at least then you've just got options. You know what I mean? It's not just like, yeah, he's only a right back, he's only a left back, he's only a centre back. Just gives you a bit more options. Maybe I'll have a little look to see other players. I mean, over the last kind of year, there's not been any players really in general outside of the top guys who have actually impressed me, so to speak. So it's going to be difficult. And also, I don't really know exactly what Liverpool are trying to do. So again, goes back to Frimpong. I don't know what is it Arne Slot is looking to do. Does he want you to play this way? Does he want you to play that way? There was a period of time when he was playing, I guess, somewhat all right, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is the Frimpong that we know." And now it's almost like, "Oh no, he's not that good." So again, people, make up your minds. You know what I'm saying? Stop changing your mind every 2 seconds as to how good or bad you think these players are. just let me get like a straight answer. Do you think he's good? Do you think he's bad? Should Liverpool even just sell? I mean, he's only 35 million. I'm pretty sure you can get that same money back. Who would you go out there and sign? Where would he play if you do want to keep him? Like, is he a starter? Is he a bench player? If he is, what type of position? Is he going to just play right back? Is he going to be a right winger? Because we've seen him obviously play there. Heard he played there on the weekend as well, even though Jones was at right back. Kind of weird, but okay. So yeah, let me know. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section, people, in regards to Frimpong. And let me know if you feel like he's just been misjudged, misprofiled, there's a misconception, all of that. Let me know in the comment section. Catch you guys soon. Peace.